Of course, I'm outdoors for a reason. Number one, it's where I like to be. Even this time of year, and sweaty, hot. I mean, just drenched in sweat is what I've been for the past couple of days. Enjoyed it. It's good. Of course, I had to run back inside, and every once in a while, I just get too hot. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go inside. But again, it's not just hot here where I'm at. A lot of what's going on here is the humidity. It's just incredibly humid. It's just water everywhere, and it's just there's rivers and all this stuff nearby, and where we're at and what we're doing, and hot and water. Whew, it makes a hot and lots of water. Makes it very hot. So we're here, and I'm out here with the hum, outdoors with the hum, because the hum is really what I'm talking about. And there's a different kind of a hum occurring here this morning. We've been without electricity for about 14 hours. It did turn on a little bit ago. Some of my neighbors have generators going and some don't. Everybody has them. You can hear they'll probably all kick on here in a little while if they not already. We haven't quite switched over to generator power, because as soon as that electricity comes on, that's where I want to be. You can run everything perfectly. It's amazing. I'm just enamored with electricity. Specifically when we don't have any. This is a great time to talk about it. That hum. Electricity is a part of that hum. Definitely today with those motors and generators, those generator motors running. So yeah, that's that hum is definitely there today. But the hum is always going. It's been raining lately, and part of that hum is the grass growing in my yard. The grass is growing in my yard. Everywhere. There's leaves growing, this is growing, everything's growing out of shape. Every time you're not able to control it, the hum, it gets just incredibly strong, and you can't do anything with it. You have to figure out something to do with the hum. You gotta control it. Well, specifically if you're human, and I've learned through listening to Alan Watts and many other speakers throughout or smart people that you learn about today, and everybody's like, okay, we need a straight line. We don't need any of this swervy stuff. We can't handle swerves and curls and Miss Pretty on hair, little girl's hair, but no, we're not going to be having it out here. No. In reality, we want a square, we want or a rectangle. We can work with circles sometimes if it's for like a special person or a special place or whatever, but we want straight lines and squares. It's so much easier to work with. Put a box. Even just cutting out pieces for a car, or molding them or whatever, however they're doing them now, you got your brake presses or whatever, however they're doing it. And CNC machines and all that stuff. They would rather make a box too. It's so much easier. You start making curves, and you gotta alter your metal some, So you need those straight lines. We do. It helps us. It helps us. It helps the psychology of the brain. Is that I know it's a routine. It's like I know what I'm gonna do. I have it planned. And if anything out of my usual schedule, I'm like, ugh, what a bummer. Of course, that's the life that a lot of people want to live. At least you're there. There's many other lifestyles to live. Sometimes that's not the same schedule that everybody else has. You may literally be working while they're playing. You may be entertaining them while they're playing, but that be your work. There you go. That's a better example of it. But anyway, there's that hum. We need that hum, but we want it the way we want it. We want it in a straight line the way we want it. Like the popular restaurant logo or slogan. There you go. We need that hum to be there, but in control and not chaotic. And the chaotic factor is I've been trying to understand one of the most difficult to understand physics principles, entropy. Everybody's like, I remember entropy. When we first started talking about it, when I first started looking at this in the past year or two, just listening to what people were saying about it, I'm like, that's not really what I remember from high school and college, 30-something years ago. Because basically, I remember entropy being, in my mind, I envisioned entropy in a physics milieu as being something along the lines of everything just kind of settles to the bottom and comes back to one little whatever it is down there at the bottom. So it's like everything just kind of reacts out, and it's all split apart, and everything is mixed together, and it's came to like, some kind of a sediment at the bottom of a pond. But that's not really the way that they're describing entropy now. It's more chaotic than that. And then you have these theories over the years everybody's talked about, which is the chaos. I think it's a chaos theory. There you go. Here I'm using chaotic. I think there is a chaos. There's fuzzy logic too, where it's may have all fed into this AI thing that we're kind of doing now. This we're talking about. Everybody's talking about now. But there's this electricity, and I'll tell you, this electricity is so interesting. I didn't realize how much I used electricity until the past 14 hours. I just give you an example. Number one, obviously a phone, which I'm on now. The electricity came on for about 20 or 30 minutes. It charged my phone up to 50%, and here I am. There you go. I got 50%. And of course, we have generators and vehicles and stuff like that if we really needed to. But I'm just trying to keep it on the grid instead of outside of the grid. But I was sitting there, so and of course, I buzz my hair with I shave it sometimes, but not every day because it's a task. But, I'll shave it. When I got to go somewhere special, I gotta shave my head. So I'll shave my head. But now most of the time I just get that little electric rechargeable clipper thing, and I don't put any blade on it. I just go over my head. All right, so I'm using electricity there, and that's part of the buzz. Bzzz, the buzz from the machine, the buzz from my hair growing. I'm alive. If you're alive, you got a buzz. That's your hum. You're humming along. But you got to control it, you idiot. But anyway, so I control this with that. So I have the phone, and I have my trimmer. My computer, the modem box. I mean, all of this stuff, all the time. The air conditioning, the HVAC, whatever you want to call it. The microwaves, the air fryers, the stoves, ovens, they're all electric here. Now the hot water heater and some other things, the central heat and all that kind of shit's gas, natural gas. But now a lot of my stuff is electric. And of course, to me, gas is the same thing as electric. It's that hum. We use it to make electricity. So it's all the same fucking thing. We have this. So what I'm noticing here with all these devices and everything around me is that I am enveloped by electricity. Man, I am electricity. There's electricity occurring in my brain being generated via chemical reactions. And I'm out here in this chaotic world with all this stuff that's growing everywhere. I mean, if you really think about it, where you're at and what you are is some weird shit. I know that. I'm like going, oh my God, I question my own insanity, my own sanity with it. But I'm saying all this stuff is growing, and it's just always buzzing, and until it doesn't, and then it just quits, and everything buzzes in a different kind of way. Some things literally buzz like a bug. Some things buzz like my clippers. Some things just grow. You don't really hear it, but you see it. Like a tree. For a while, you may go to a place and it may just be a cut over field. And then the next thing you know, you're there a few years later, it's covered with trees. Or vice versa. You may go somewhere and you feel protected from this bright light up in the sky that we also use for electricity. But it's, you got to protect yourself from it, because that thing is powerful. It's very powerful. But I tell you what else, what I learned from this whole thing of being surrounded by the sun, which is ever present up there, and you must protect yourself from it, but you need it or you'll die thing, and all the electricity, all the stuff going on around me, is the fact that I am part of the hum. In fact, I'm a being of light. I cannot exist without the sun. It's hard to think of because you think of, that's very esoteric. Like, you're a being of light. Okay, like you're a special presence. Whatever. Well, I am. You won't get me and you, by the way. You won't get us without that sun. You would not get something like us without that sun. You can say whatever you want to, but to get us, it would have to be that sun. If you change that sun by 20% in any way or the other, it's probably not going to be us that are here, There's going to be some kind of something else somewhere doing something, but it won't be us. You start changing stuff a lot, and our little habitable zone gets that third rock from the sun, the Goldilocks zone, the unicorn zone. It's beautiful. All the stuff all the time. These majestic creatures that come out of this thing. These people say, well, it got put here. Well, I don't really buy that. It wasn't put here. It may have been put here from the perspective of it. It figured out how to make the system. But there is a way that you create things. I don't know that you just puff them in the air there. No, you make it seems to me, and it looks like if you look at everything, that it was something was set into motion there. It's almost as like it's a seed pod. Like one of the envisions I had was that this whole thing was, a long time ago there was this ionization or whatever it is 2 or 3 times, and it just big old bright surges of energy from the initial after the initial Big Bang or whatever happened there. That could have been another seed too, and we're just a little part of the process. I don't know, but whenever that thing happened, whatever it was, all these processes happen, just like inside of a plant with the sun. I mean, it's just, if you look at our universe, the beginning of it, it's almost just like a plant thing going on. Things burst. These things are burst to us because they're so small, but from the outside, if you're looking at a plant, there's all kinds of shit occurring in it too, or a small animal, or you, for a matter of fact. The hum. It's the hum. It uses the hum to keep humming. So it's taking life, because you don't get life from something that's dead. This whole fucking thing is alive. The earth is alive. This thing creates life every day. Now, maybe God made it like that. I don't know. It's not for me to decide. I was not there. I know that right now, though, this thing creates life and it kills life too when it gets out of balance. And I'm sitting here in July, and it's no electricity, which is, it happens in July sometimes, but it's raining in July, which is unusual, except for in these El Nino type years, they say. But what is that, and how did it get there? And it's also miserably hot, but it's rainforest hot. This is not like the kind of hot, the subtropical type hot that we would get here. It's usually bearable. You can mow your yard, but this thing it's like it's trying to cover us up. If you leave stuff alone for a few weeks, it'll grow. That hum will grow. It'll push it out there. I'm gonna tell you, these beings of light. Of course, everything has a cycle. Every little thing, a tree, a human, my little shaver, my cell phone has a life cycle. It's gonna last for so long, and then it's gonna not work. Not worth a flip. And it's just gonna be buried somewhere. And, you may try to resurrect it a few times. I tell you, if I broke my other phone, I'm gonna use this one right here, and use it for 10 minutes, and you realize that's not what you needed to do because that's not right for you. It no longer works. It's dead. You can't resurrect the past. There's always something new here now. It's humming. It's you got to use that energy. It's energy. This stuff is everywhere. It's everywhere. And if it's not, then we create it. We concentrate it. We use the resources from this earth because there's nowhere else that we can go. We dig up shit out of the ground and we burn it to give energy to us in compacted amounts. Because that's what we are, just compacted energy. In a chaotic fucking world. In the hum. I'm okay with it, really. The very fact that I've been able to realize it, you know. I think for me, it was studying the Eastern ideologies. Now, I haven't been all the way there this week. I've been thinking about it. You know, I've been thinking about placing myself really where I belong. And of course, this is just a contextual part of placing myself where I belong. This discussion of the chaos. Because I got to figure out where I'm at. You know, they've done research over the years, and I really is just, it's like a location. You know, like it's location for GPS. Who's there? Or where are you at? I'm here. Who's there? I am here. And as long as I am, I'm going to live my life. You know. Anyway, I got this hum going on here. I'm trying to make sense of it. It's chaotic. It's just driving me crazy. This being of light. I want to make everything Euclidean. I want to make things right. And sometimes the system is just too much. It's just too much. And you can't handle it. And that's where I started. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm into this thing. It was this chaos, all this stuff going on around me. And I can't control it. And I want to put it in a straight fucking line, but I can't. And here I am. And there you are. And I appreciate you being here. If you're crazy enough to listen to this, listen to them. Hear them. There's the cicadas. I said hello. Oh, actually, they said goodbye. So, goodbye.